Part 1. What are ultra-processed foods? Before we get into the scary statistics, you need to understand exactly what we mean when we say ultra-processed foods, because most people think they already know. They picture chips, soda, candy, fast food. And yes, those are ultra-processed. But the list goes much further than that. And that's where most people get blindsided. Ultra-processed foods are defined by something called the NOVA classification system, developed by researchers at the University of São Paulo. NOVA divides all foods into 4 groups based on how much industrial processing they've gone through. Group 1 is unprocessed or minimally processed foods. Think fresh fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, eggs, plain nuts, and seeds. These are foods that come directly from nature with little to no alteration. Group 2 is processed culinary ingredients. Things like olive oil, butter, flour, salt, and sugar that are used to cook and prepare food. Group 3 is processed foods. This includes things like canned fish, canned vegetables, cheese, cured meats, and freshly baked bread. These are foods that have been preserved or modified, but still use recognizable ingredients. And then there's Group 4, ultra-processed foods. These are industrial formulations made mostly or entirely from substances extracted from foods or derived from food constituents. They typically contain 5, 10, sometimes 20 or more ingredients. And most of those ingredients you cannot find in any home kitchen. We're talking about hydrogenated oils, high fructose corn syrup, modified starches, artificial flavors, artificial colors, emulsifiers, stabilizers, preservatives, and flavor enhancers. These are foods designed in laboratories to be as addictive as possible. They are engineered to hit what food scientists call the bliss point, the precise combination of sugar, salt, and fat that makes your brain scream for more. Now here's the part that shocks most people. Ultra-processed foods make up over 60% of the average American's daily calorie intake. Over 60%. That means most Americans are getting the majority of their calories from laboratory-engineered industrial products that barely qualify as food. And here's what might shock you even more. Many of the foods you think are healthy are actually ultra-processed. Flavored yogurt with fruit on the bottom? Ultra-processed. Whole grain breakfast cereal? Ultra-processed. Protein bars and meal replacement shakes? Ultra-processed. Store-bought smoothies? Ultra-processed. Multi-grain bread from the supermarket? Ultra-processed. Plant-based meat alternatives? Ultra-processed. Low-fat salad dressings? Ultra-processed. The food industry has become extraordinarily good at disguising ultra-processed foods as healthy options. They use words like natural, wholesome, artisan, and clean on packaging that contains dozens of industrial additives. They add vitamins and minerals to heavily processed products and then market them as fortified. They put pictures of farms and sunsets on boxes of food that was manufactured in a factory with machines. It's one of the greatest marketing deceptions in history, and it's costing people their lives. Part 2. The study that changes everything. Now let's talk about the research that dropped on February 10, 2026. Because this isn't just another small observational study that you can dismiss. This is a major, rigorous piece of research that adds to a mountain of evidence that has been building for years. The study found that adults with the highest intake of ultra-processed foods had a 47% higher risk of experiencing a major cardiovascular event. That includes heart attack, stroke, heart failure, and cardiovascular death. To put that number in perspective, smoking increases heart attack risk by about 200 to 300%. But smoking is universally understood to be dangerous. We have warning labels on cigarettes. We have public health campaigns about smoking. We tax cigarettes specifically because of the health damage they cause. But ultra-processed foods? They're marketed to children. They're sold in school cafeterias. They're recommended by some dietitians as convenient, healthy options. And they're increasing your risk of dying from a heart attack by nearly half. The study also found that the risk wasn't just related to one type of ultra-processed food. It wasn't just soda or just chips. It was across the board. The more ultra-processed food a person ate in total, the higher their cardiovascular risk climbed. And this wasn't a short study. The researchers tracked participants over multiple years. They controlled for age, sex, smoking status, exercise habits, and overall calorie intake. In other words, they did everything they could to make sure the results were real. And the results were real. Ultra-processed foods kill people. Not eventually, not theoretically, right now, every single day. Part 4. What else these foods do to your body? The 47% higher heart attack risk is terrifying enough. But let me tell you what else ultra-processed foods are doing to your body. Because the heart is not the only organ under attack. Your brain is being destroyed. A study published in JAMA Neurology found that people who got more than 20% of their calories from ultra-processed foods experienced significantly faster cognitive decline compared to those who ate less. The researchers found that high ultra-processed food intake was associated with higher rates of dementia, worse memory, and reduced executive function. Remember what we talked about in a previous video about Alzheimer's being called type 3 diabetes? The chronic insulin resistance and inflammation caused by ultra-processed foods create exactly the metabolic environment in which Alzheimer's thrives. Your gut is being destroyed. Ultra-processed foods contain emulsifiers like carboxymethylcellulose and polysorbate 80 that have been shown in multiple studies to disrupt the gut microbiome. They destroy the diversity of beneficial bacteria in your gut. They damage the intestinal lining. They promote the growth of harmful bacterial species. And since 70% of your immune system lives in your gut, destroying your microbiome means destroying your immune defenses. Your mental health is being destroyed. A large meta-analysis found that people who ate the most ultra-processed foods had a significantly higher risk of depression and anxiety. The gut-brain connection is real. Your gut produces about 90% of your body's serotonin. When ultra-processed foods destroy your gut microbiome, they directly impair your brain's ability to regulate mood. Your cancer risk is rising. A study in the BMJ found that a 10% increase in the proportion of ultra-processed foods in the diet was associated with a 12% increase in overall cancer risk. The researchers found links to breast cancer, colorectal cancer, and several other cancers. And your weight is being hijacked. Ultra-processed foods are specifically engineered to override your body's natural satiety signals. They are designed to make you eat more than your body needs. They bypass the hormonal signals that tell you you're full. They create cravings that have nothing to do with actual hunger. And they drive addictive eating patterns that keep you coming back again and again. This is not accidental. This is intentional. Food scientists are hired specifically to find the precise formulation that maximizes consumption. And they are extraordinarily good at their jobs. Part 5. The worst offenders. Now let me give you the specific foods that are doing the most damage, so you know exactly what to watch out for. Starting with the most consumed ultra-processed foods in America. Number 1. Packaged bread and baked goods. Most bread sold in American supermarkets contains dozens of additives, including dough conditioners, emulsifiers, preservatives, and added sugars. The ingredient list for a standard loaf of commercial white bread can contain over 30 ingredients. Real bread has 4: flour, water, salt, and yeast. Number 2. Breakfast cereals. Most breakfast cereals are essentially candy with vitamins sprinkled on top. They are made from highly refined grains that have been stripped of all fiber and nutrients, then puffed, flaked, or extruded at high heat and pressure. They're coated in sugar, artificial flavors, and artificial colors. And then synthetic vitamins are added back in, and they're marketed as part of a complete breakfast. Number 3. Flavored yogurts. Plain yogurt is a health food. But most flavored yogurts in the supermarket are desserts disguised as health food. They contain high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, modified food starch, and often artificial sweeteners. The fruit on the bottom is usually a fruit-flavored gel, not actual fruit. Number 4. Packaged snacks. Chips, crackers, pretzels, cookies, granola bars. These products are almost universally made with refined flour, seed oils, and excessive amounts of salt and sugar. They are specifically engineered to be eaten mindlessly and without satisfaction. One serving is never enough because they're designed that way. Number 5. Processed meats. Hot dogs, deli meat, sausages, bacon, pepperoni. These contain nitrates and nitrites, which are converted to carcinogenic compounds in your body. They contain artificial preservatives, stabilizers, and flavor enhancers. And they've been officially classified as Group 1 carcinogens by the World Health Organization. That means there is sufficient evidence that they cause cancer in humans. Group 1, the same category as tobacco. Number 6, fast food. Almost everything sold at fast food restaurants qualifies as ultra-processed. The meat is reconstituted and reformulated. The buns are full of additives. The sauces are engineered flavor systems. The fries are fried in seed oils at extremely high temperatures that create toxic oxidation byproducts. And the drinks are essentially liquid sugar delivery systems. Number 7. Protein bars and meal replacements. I know this one hurts, but most protein bars are candy bars with protein powder added. They're sweetened with high fructose corn syrup, sugar alcohols, or artificial sweeteners. They contain hydrogenated oils, artificial flavors, and a list of chemical ingredients that would take 5 minutes to read out loud. Just because something has 20 grams of protein does not make it a health food. Part 6. What you should do right now. So now that you know what's happening, what do you actually do about it? Because I'm not going to leave you with fear and no solutions. That's not what this channel is about. Step 1. Apply the 5-ingredient rule. If a packaged food has more than 5 ingredients, put it back on the shelf. This isn't a perfect rule, but it's a powerful filter that eliminates the vast majority of the worst ultra-processed products. Real food doesn't need 30 ingredients to taste good. Step 2. Learn the ultra-processed ingredient red flags. When you see these ingredients on a label, that product is ultra-processed. High fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils, modified food starch, artificial flavors, or natural flavors. Artificial colors like red 40, yellow 5, or blue. 1. Carrageenan, carboxymethylcellulose, or polysorbate 80. Sodium nitrate or sodium nitrite, BHA or BHT. If you see any of these, you now know what category that food belongs in. Step 3. Build your meals around whole foods. Vegetables of every color, fruits, especially berries, quality proteins, eggs, meat, fish, poultry, legumes, healthy fats, avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, and brown rice. These foods have one ingredient, the food itself. Step 4. Cook your own food as much as possible. This is the single most powerful thing you can do for your health. When you cook at home, you control exactly what goes into your food. No seed oils unless you choose them. No hidden sugars unless you add them. No preservatives, no emulsifiers, no artificial anything. Just real ingredients that your body recognizes and knows how to process. Step 5. Make strategic swaps. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start with strategic swaps. Instead of store-bought bread, try sourdough from a local bakery with 4 ingredients. Instead of flavored yogurt, buy plain Greek yogurt and add your own fresh fruit and honey. Instead of breakfast cereal, make overnight oats with whole rolled oats and real toppings. Instead of protein bars, carry hard-boiled eggs or a handful of mixed nuts. Instead of packaged deli meat, use leftover roasted chicken or turkey. Small swaps, compounded over time, create massive change.